Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to take a closer look, well, really dive deep into how you vet some of these newer online brands.
Right, and we're using a specific example, aren't we? Skinatiks.com.
Exactly. Skinatiks.com and their NUI IPL hair removal device. It's an intense pulsed light thing.
Okay.
And our mission, really, is to look at that gap between what a company says about itself and what, independent sources might reveal.
Mm-hmm. And the hook is always pretty tempting with these things.
Oh, yeah. This one's like salon-level results at home for a really great price. Who doesn't want that?
Hard to resist.
So when you first land on their site, I mean, it looks pretty slick. They hit you with all these trust signals.
Well, what specifically?
Well, they claim they have over 1,500 reviews right there on the site.
Yeah.
And the average rating is almost a perfect 5 stars.
1,500. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then they stack these guarantees. You get free shipping, a 2-year warranty, and the big one, a full 100-day money-back guarantee.
100 days. That sounds very generous. Almost. Zero risk, they make it sound like.
Exactly. But you have to wonder, for a direct-to-consumer brand, how can they really offer something that robust? Especially if they're new.
That's the critical question, isn't it? Okay, let's unpack this a bit. When a company promotes itself so heavily with thousands of great reviews, you immediately have to check the history. How long have they actually been around?
Right.
And what's really interesting here, the report we looked at points out the Skinatiks website is only 7 months old.
Wait, hang on. 7 months?
7 months.
That's incredibly new.
Yeah.
How does a company that's barely half a year old get 1,500 perfect reviews? Especially for a product where results take time. Weeks, maybe months.
Precisely. It just doesn't add up, does it? A 7-month-old site acting like an established leader, that's probably the biggest red flag right there.
Yeah.
It suggests maybe they're, I don't know, importing reviews from somewhere else, or maybe filtering heavily, or worse.
Okay, so that context makes the outside data even more important then.
It really does. If you step outside their own little bubble, look at Trustpilot, for instance, the picture changes dramatically.
How much?
Their score on Trustpilot is just 3.0 out of 5.
3.0. Wow. From nearly 5 stars down to 3.
Huge drop. It screams credibility gap. And, for a beauty device, you'd expect happy customers if it works. A 3.0 suggests quite a few people are. Well, not happy. Maybe issues with the product, maybe with returns.
Okay, so 3.0 isn't necessarily a runaway screaming score, but it's definitely not great. It's average, maybe slightly below average. What about other checks, like Scam Advisor?
Scam Advisor gives them a trust score of 70 out of 100.
70, so okay.
Yeah, just okay. It means they pass basic technical checks, SSL certificate, domain ownership seems okay, but it doesn't scream trustworthiness.
Right. It lacks the history, the verified data points you'd see for a score of, say, 90 plus.
Exactly. It's another lukewarm signal for a company promising top-tier results.
So, putting this all together, what's the takeaway for someone who sees their ads and thinks, maybe I'll try this?
Well, the sources we looked at conclude it's not an outright definite scam. You might get the product.
Okay.
But that combination of being super new and having this massive difference between internal and external reviews, it puts it squarely in the high-risk category. Buyer beware, basically.
So it's a gamble.
It is. And this brings us back to that 100-day guarantee they promote so heavily.
Yeah, that sounds like your safety net.
It is your main safety net. But, and this is crucial, you have to treat it proactively.
Okay.
You absolutely must read the fine print before you buy.
The fine print. Always the catch.
Often, yeah. Sometimes these guarantees require really specific proof, like weekly photos showing hair growth or lack thereof, detailed records.
Right. Stuff most people won't actually do.
Exactly. And you might find you're on the hook for return shipping costs, maybe internationally, which can eat up a chunk of your refund.
Good point. So you need to know the real terms of that guarantee.
Absolutely. Be prepared. Know the rules. If the device isn't working for you early on, start that return process immediately. Don't wait until day 99 and then discover you missed a step.
Makes sense. So a final thought then for you, the listener. When you're looking at these kinds of heavily advertised online products, the real insight isn't just about whether the product might work. It's about looking critically at that gap, that dissonance between the company's perfect self-image and what independent reviews are saying.
Especially when combined with how new the company actually is.
Precisely. Use those external scores and the business age as your guide. That tells you much more about the actual risk you're taking than the flashy promises on the website.